Hey guys, welcome to another session of RBTL, a reading between the lines, where we go over the patch notes or any kind of newsworthy topics, and we gotta discuss my opinions, of course, and my highlights on these patch notes. I did stay up late till the AMs for the patch stream, the preview, and we got ML Cigarette coming, and she looks really good. I'm gonna save my discussion on what I think about her in a separate video, especially after the data mine. I think I'm gonna wait for that and for my initial thoughts series. First things first, let's talk about the hero and artifact balance adjustments. I did make a video separate on this when it was announced in the dev notes, dev note preview for the balance patch, so I'm not gonna go too deep into this, except that I have to say that I think all the big ones, like the 5 stars, so Cerise, Landy, both limited, and then Sage Baal and Cezanne, ML5, all very good heroes. And I think Sage Baal right now is going to be one of the higher rated picked heroes, that he has true damage, which is really effective in RTA, and there's some RTA changes as well, so it's gonna be big. Plus he has just really good turn cycling with his passive CR boost, and now being able to debuff enemies even better than he did before. So realistically, I think he's gonna be really well used. Little Queen Charlotte, I think, is gonna be just as prominent as she was before, but now being able to do a bit of AoE splash damage will definitely help increase her usage, so to speak. I think people who already built her will use her more. People who may have been on the edge of building her may start building her. I personally don't think that she's gonna be too insane, but I think it's still a good buff. Cerise, I think everybody was talking about like how broken she would be. I personally think there's multiple things about Cerise becoming really good. Elemental advantage for the S3 means that if you want her to be a CDOM booster, she would only need 73% crit rate built, which means very good for other stats, like maybe effectiveness, maybe even crit damage if you want to get some more damage, like chip damage. Especially if you're boosting CDOM, assuming you have a triple S, so plus 12 there, 15% for elemental advantage. So that's against on every single hero. Not that she not only can't miss green anymore, but she has elemental advantage, which is huge. It's huge. I think the mystical arrow trigger dual attack from random ally is really good as well. I mean, you see how many people use Lilius just for that aspect, and if she has it, it's just gonna be even worse. It's crazier, especially if she has missed con file, because you get the death break. That's my thoughts there. And then Landy, I think she's gonna be really good, of course. I'm one of the people that was just like, she was really weird before, and I know people built her and used her when she was released, but in my opinion, her influence wasn't super big. I think now her influence is gonna be pretty big. Defense penetration when full focus is up, and she still has like increased damage for every single skill. Yeah, so I mean, just like, yeah, a lot of benefits for Landy. So if you have her, I would definitely recommend building her. I think she's gonna be a very good utility cleaver, and bruiser, of course. Maya's skills are actually really good as well. Fire Maya, I know some people already were building her before, but I think she's gonna be more usable now. All this talk is mainly RTA. Pro Horizon specialty change as well. If you're gonna play control, she's now even better than she was before, and she wasn't even that bad. The artifacts, Guiding Light, very broken. I wish I kept 2 copies. I unfortunately only kept 1, and then Limit broke it with another copy. I should have kept them, but now with limited artifacts also being buffed with limited heroes on this batch as our first, it's definitely got to be considered for players thinking long term to keep two copies of artifacts, no matter what. So even if like Guiding Light wasn't even that bad, to be honest, but like the very fact that they buffed it means that they felt players thought other ranger artifacts had more benefits, and therefore they still wanted this to have more value. So I guess in case they return Cerise Banner and the artifact, people will go ham on this, because this artifact is by far, I think, one of the strongest artifacts now in the game because of that beginning stealth. So if you have like a full deck of like rangers, and most of them have guiding light on, it's just gonna be annoying because you got innate damage mitigation. You can't be single target sniped, so it's gonna be a really big game changer in my opinion. Bastion of Pelusia grants the immunity, is nice to have. I was saying that if you're using that on like a DPS or whatever, it could be decent, but potentially in a defense driven team, I don't think an RTA is going to be that good. The very fact that you might not even get the knight that you drafted for Bastion is probably going to be where this artifact dies. Probably more useful on like a defense guild war, defense arena, or even offense really, if you're using that to your advantage. J-Kisei, Eaton, Oxlots, cleave into MLK or something like that. Some people do that already. Dux Noctis also getting a really big increase. I'm not gonna talk about that, but it's way better, way quicker stacks. Silver Rain, one of my highlights as well. So the new hunt. Okay, so new hunt, I wanted to talk about this. So they did explain on the stream that I'm pretty sure it's in the patch notes as well, but mainly because we're stopped at hunt 11, mainly because they felt that this was difficult enough that even endgame players won't be hunting 12 and 13. Then the question would be, is it worth getting these sets while the cost is like not as good value? So yes, you are using 20 energy, and look at that image, 13 out of 13,891. Oh man, dev accounts. Yeah, so the question would be like, okay, then I think people would ask if they wanted to ask me, Jagan, do you think it's worth hunting it at stage 11? I'm half on this one. I mean, the sets are useful, but I think honestly the penetration set is the one that I probably see more use for. So for example, I mean, if you high roll gear, heroes like ML Luluka, Pavel, generally people build them pretty fast, and like they do heavy damage, and they're able to set up other teammates. Usually these faster DPS heroes are not on immunity, they're on speed set with a crit set. So in my opinion, like having the penetration set is really good. I know Pavel does a cleave, but he does end with an S3, like a single target. So those are just two of the examples. There's a lot of like opener damage dealer type heroes as well. The penetration set could be really good. So basically I think it's penetration set for me right now is like every hero that I think of that would run a crit set, I might think about penetration set. It does not stack. So if you have, let's say, like a J-Kisei, even though J-Kisei again is cleave, is not single target, but or Surmia, like a slow Surmia, you use it in like Guild War or Arena offense, and she's relatively slow, high nuking damage, and you run her with maybe immunity, crit set. Now you can think about using a penetration set in that. So basically any hero that you have that is running crit set right now could benefit from penetration set. The injury set, revenge set, I mean, those are all really cool. Injury set, I know people are thinking SSB. I think that would probably be one of her primaries. It is a 4-piece set though, so I mean, a lot of people run like double crit immunity. You have to have the immunity on SSB. So like, is it worth? I think it probably would be like effective against heroes, not on bosses and stuff like that. I think it's gonna be a useful one, but I think that's pretty much it. So my thing right now is like, yeah, it could be very difficult. I know that a lot of like top players or whales will most likely farm to stage 11 anyway, get a head start on it, and then we have no idea. They said potentially on 12 and 13 next year, so like a year later. I think right now it would be dependent on how simple it is to hunt it, and just keep in mind that you do get lower rewards in stage 11, just like in just like old Wyvern 11 and stuff like that. So it's like for your energy, like if you're a free to play player and you calculate your daily energy with all the free energy and you calculate this for a year, like would you get more benefit out of hunting this right now, or would you get more benefit hunting Wyvern 13? I'm leaning towards Wyvern 13. 10% damage, 10% defense penetration on the penetration set is a big deal. Like every single percent it counts. But it's 10%. So I'm not quite sure. Like I don't know. My experience is like 10% is not as crazy. And like I said, every bit counts. Every bit counts. But 10% like extra defense penetration, it just means like it depends on who you face against. If they have 10% extra defense, like rolled, like a high roll gear, then you basically are not really benefiting from the penetration set. That's the way I see it. But every bit counts. So not to say that this is bad. It's just more of like value wise, I'm not quite sure, especially if you're free to play. I'm not quite sure this is the best place to use your resources at the moment. And then based on the hunt, and I'm not going to get into it because there's a new hunt update information. I'm not going to get into the hunt mechanics. It read like Abyss 101 plus novel series again, and I didn't read it. I was watching the stream and I told my stream chat, I'm like, I'm not reading this, I'm reading the stream chat, it's actually more entertaining. I'm gonna wait for people to backseat game me if I'm gonna try to attempt this. I mean, the thing is, you gotta at least hit it once, right? In case hunt 12 and 13 drop next year, you do have to hit it once. So I most likely will hit like up to maybe hunt 11 if I can do it, or I'll just watch other content creators and other theory crafters. I'm not gonna try to figure it out. I'm not gonna pioneer the hunt, in my opinion. The gear looks really cool in terms of the artwork. It's pretty small on the screen there, but the one on the right, the Reforge, looks pretty cool. Yeah, I can't wait in the future if they potentially have a updated converted gear art when you 90 them. Right now they look the same as 85. It would be cool. It's just a side topic though, it just reminded me of that. Yeah, new filter, you get the new sets, you got new reputation as well, hero journal. Let's skip that. Drop rate for Bellona, and then also Charlotte. So Bellona as a hero, sadly I don't really think that she's PvP ready anymore. I think no one really uses her in PvP, especially high end. But it is SSB imprints and it's cheap. The only thing is, like, if you are maybe missing Rengar specialty drink a bit and you don't want to powder and you want to maybe wait for next year in terms of when, if actually, we don't know, I'm not quite sure yet, but if she returns, I mean, Luna's returned 3 times, so I don't know, see why SSB wouldn't return 3 times. But in the summer, if SSB returns, you may as well pick up more artifacts while chasing the hero as well. It's like, so like, unless you're in a rush to triple S Bellona, SSB with Earth Bellona, I would definitely skip it. I guess if you're free to play, it's not as big as, let's say, Vildred banner, in my opinion. Although SSB now, potentially with the new sets, with how the new frenzy works, is going to be even more disgusting. So SSB is still one of the queens in RTA. Man, Charlotte also really good. Fire Charlotte as a hero with her new rework, used in PvP. If you build her well, she can be a real monster. If anything, she could be an LQC or Little Queen Charlotte imprint, which is defense percent self imprint for LQC, and that's a huge one for Little Queen Charlotte as well. So just those things to keep in mind. I don't think I can go for those. I think there's a limited banner coming. We already have a preview that Bassar with Abyssal Crown is coming the week after. So I feel there's a limited hero coming. I think people are speculating it's DN. I don't know where the grounds of that speculation is, so take it with a grain of salt. I'm not gonna really believe it. I think it's more of timing. People are just like, oh, it's time for DN to come back. I don't know about it. I'm not quite sure. Let's see here. World Arena season closed. Yeah, so if you guys got, you know, where you wanted, awesome. Congrats. I didn't go far this season. I pushed too late, way too late, and I'll post those videos, my RTA fights. I only get to master on my main account, and I wasn't even gonna post it, but I have an alt account I'm driving now. I also made it to master, but it was way more entertaining to watch, so I'll be posting those up soon if you guys are interested in that. But it's low, it's pleb level RTA, right? It's not like champion, legend, you know, the top players, right? But it's entertaining. It's entertaining. But I did make it to master, so I guess I'm gonna get the pantsless Litica. I still don't like it. I don't get it, man. I think some people said that they actually like the skin. I prefer the regular Athletica skin. But anyways, that's that. UI improvements for the mock battle. So yeah, this frenzy part, I think I want to talk about. So world adjustment improvements. There's gonna be some matchmaking improvements. That's one. So based on a player's rank, so players can be matched with someone with similar rank. In my opinion, it probably would be a slight change, but not my experience this past week when I'm pushing RTA. I don't think that would have mattered that much, just because how many battles are going on. So yeah, so the frenzy update. This one's it could look scary for people. While I was on stream yesterday, some people were asking, oh no, effectiveness gets increased. Will we need to now just ignore effect resistance? And I don't think you need to change your builds too much. And I'm an RTA pleb, but I do have a decent grounding in just PvP in general. I think honestly, I don't think you should change your builds, but you should change the way you draft. We're gonna go to the frenzy chart soon, but really what this is pushing is just that people cannot just run what we call the 4 horsemen comp or stall comps anymore, which is, it could be really boring. Like, you know, top players in like the sweatiest tournaments can go up to like frenzy 7, frenzy 9. And then the fight will eventually end. And when I say eventually, it is really eventually. But like, I mean, it's what it takes to win. And so I don't blame any players doing that. And even when I was climbing, people were doing those kind of drafts, like in placement matches. In placement matches in like silver, gold, and stuff like that. So it's like, it's really weird. It cascades down because everybody wants to win. No one really wants to lose. Battle frenzy improvements. So here we have the before, right? So effectiveness is now an added effect, and I think this one's a big one. This one was the one that kind of scared, or could scare you if you're listening to this. Just the question would be like, well, what's the point of building effect resistance? The whole point is obviously you want to beat it as fast as possible, right? Because think about the frenzy as if you're doing Hall of Trials or whatever. You can like, you know, deck out with like a lot of healers, and you pretty much, like theoretically you can still kill the boss, but because the boss has a timer, and he instant kills you at the end. This is really what it's doing. So it's encouraging not you to change your stats, so to speak, rather change your drafting method. So instead of like, you know, lock down like 2 knights, which knights are still going to be good. It's not going to say like knights are bad. It's not going to say that cleansers are bad. It's really more of like, you can't just draft 4 knights anymore. Especially if they have like, let's say 2 debuff or controllers. Then you'll be pretty much screwed, especially if you had a healer. Of course, it's really dependent, and I think more or less, the meta will stay the same, but no matter what, the fights are going to go quicker. So I think with all of this, there are going to be some statistical swaps. I'm not going to name the name, but if you guys are like, you know, watching all the RTA content, all the account reviews on YouTube, on Twitch and stuff like that, you guys would know. I think there's one top player, again, I'm not going to mention the name, but he's going with like Ruel, for example, without effect resistance on potion vial and super fast and super tanky. That's it. And that was like his way of answering, like, you know, he didn't feel that it depends on the fights he brought Ruel to, but stuff like that. So like it could shift how people build, but it's not that you should ignore effect resistance. So for example, if you have a Momo built for countering debuffers, you should build her with high effect resistance. But the way you counter those controllers is that you want to kill them off really quick. So you either have some sort of like, you know, self-cleansing bruiser, maybe like an F Maya or something like that, ambitious Tywin. You want to kill them off quick. So honestly, it only just shifts the way people draft more so than the gear change. And I know I'm kind of like repeating myself, but I'm more emphasizing it in case you guys missed the point. And like I said, worst comes to worst, if people still draft the exact same way, at least the fights will end so much quicker, right? So that's a good thing. So decreased healing is up to 70%. I mean, each of these are only like 5% if you compare to the before, but it starts earlier, right? It starts earlier. Decreasing the health as well. Health, yeah, I'm comparing. Yeah, so it goes up to 70%. So again, 5%, 5%, 5%, starts earlier. Increasing the attack part is actually really interesting, that it's not increasing damage dealt. So increasing attack instead of increasing damage dealt, would be really good for all damage, right? But now they're doing attack percent specifically. So that means now, you know, using sustainable DPS, maybe like Fire Robbie, Landy, these ones are going to be really good in long frenzy fights, because they're getting stronger, whereas your knights before increased damage dealt, like Crow S3, would actually do more damage even though you don't have much HP. So true like HP damage or true damage is gonna lack in this part. So increased damage dealt is, you have to think about, it's like a portrait, right? But increased attack is percent based. So yeah, I think really this is gonna be a healthy shift in RTA. I might personally look into RTA more now with this. I was just very kind of like unmotivated seeing like all the top players do the same couple heroes and then just see who had better gear or who had better RNG. So yeah, I'm very excited about that one. Actually, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you like this change? And I think it does depend on your playstyle. New mentioned that on the patch stream. He's like, it depends on your playstyle. I think it doesn't matter on your playstyle. I think this is a good change and healthy change that's needed. It was interesting though, because we didn't really have any hints that the battle frenzy thing was coming, this improvement. But when we got the new sets, or the announcement of the new hunts and new sets, we kind of assumed like that was the fix for RTA. So this is another reason why I don't think hunting 11 for Cades, that new light elemental boss hunt, this is why I don't think it's worth your value at the moment. Because I feel that with just all the sets that we have right now, with the new battle frenzy structure, the fights are just going to be a lot healthier, even without the hunt. So that's my opinion on it, but let me know in the comments down below on that section. Coin shop is refreshed. I'm just gonna skip it, not much to talk about, especially if you don't have the coins. Who cares, right? I don't have the coins. Packs, I'm gonna skip the wait, special mystic pack. Okay, too long, didn't read. I'm not gonna read it. The only reason I'm even looking at the mystic pack there is just because ML Cigarette. I know people are gonna be like, hey Jagan, you're gonna wail for her. I'm like, crap, she's so hot, man. But talk about that in her own video. Skin shop, Charles is added. Not like, oh, okay. Doris arm is fixed. it's a better fix. It's a definitely better fix. I think that the arm that they had before, the one with those was like broken. I can redraw it. Hopefully someone will remember that image and always keep it for the archives. But I can draw it here. Before it was like this, right? Like this. They were kind of going for elegant, right? But it was obviously, it was broken. So this is still elegant, so it remains true to the character. Honestly, you can't even tell. It's actually really smart that they actually went with an arm bent upwards like this, because then they could literally just cut and paste. They could literally just cut the arm off, because there's this line right here that helps seal that seam. So this was actually a probably quick rework for them. Really good, really cool stuff. And they did actually make this part of the patch stream, and it's like it's actually pretty funny. I actually feel like Smilegate has a sense of humor, because like to actually basically laugh at themselves, and kind of agree with the community and then do the fix, but then also make this a big deal. Like, in-game image is fixed. Like that's pretty funny. I have to say, that's pretty funny. Skill adjustments have changed. This replay feature, it's cool, but I don't. It's okay. There's some quality of life changes. Is cool. I'm okay with that. I think that's pretty much it then. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so I'm gonna end that there. There's a lot of talk on mainly the Battle Frenzy thoughts, the new hunts, and then the balance patch. Again, let me know in the comments down below on each section if you guys have any questions or any concerns, or what your thoughts are. If you disagree with me, let me know as well. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna end this for the video recording. If you guys have Discord, check out the Discord server. Follow me on Twitter. Subscribe to YouTube if you haven't. I will see you guys on the next RBTL.